Hey streamer, do a level 1 no hit run on Elden Ring.
Aha, you must have missed it. I actually did one just recently.
Bro didn't even do it damageless, wow.
Oh, well, how would I even do that? Well, I guess Red Feather Talisman that's used for no-hit runs would have to be switched for Ritual Sword Talisman, lowering my damage by 10%, and then there's fall damage.
Lol, bro's probably gonna use stealth items.
Alright, that's it. I'm doing this, and without stealth items. I'm not even gonna use fall damage magic. Wait, how exactly do we do this? You know what? Let's just make Goku, dude. Why not? Like, is there like spiky hair? That's kind of Dragon Ball Z. I would say that's probably the closest. Good. Well, to be fair, they never made live action Dragon Ball Z, so we would never know what they'd look like in person, right? We would just have to make an interpretation. I think that's a pretty good one. They did, and it was bad. Did they actually make one that was real? I thought that was a joke. I saw a trailer that looked fake for it, and then I asked some people if it was real, and they're like, no, it's not real. It's a SpongeBob. If SpongeBob was real. Make the Turtle Hermit? What is the Turtle Hermit? Elden Ring or DS3 to buy? Definitely buy this game. 100% this game. Especially if like the price of them is pretty close. I don't know what Dark Souls 3 costs right now, but if you can get them for like a similar price, this is much more content. And then even if it was like half the price, you're getting like 3 times the amount of game. Forgot his name in English. The Turtle Hermit guy. We got to figure out what that is. Oh, Master Yoshi? It was with high school kids? Okay, actually, I'm curious about watching this now. People want to repress their memories of this Dragon Ball Z movie, huh? That kind of reminds me of when I watched Death Note live action. I was like, I really wish I could actually rewind time so I didn't see that. The only saving grace was they made Ryuk look really cool. Like, I actually like the way they made him look. But, yeah. Roshi was Mexican in the movie. Oh, Yoel? Like the Turtle Hermit guy, Yoel? How would you make him a character, though? You have to, like, hack the game. The hair you chose is almost the same haircut as the main character of the movie, really? Alright, so we're doing this. Just need an orange costume. I need like Sekiro, like the wolf garb or whatever.
And I can also that you're not then
Cane as a weapon. Yeah, they don't really often use weapons, do they? They don't really need to. Top 3 FromSoft games. This game's my favorite. Then second favorite would be Sekiro. Third favorite would be Bloodborne. Because of William Dafoe being Ryuk, yeah. Dude, he makes Willem Dafoe makes quite a few interesting characters. He's already a goblin. We know he's a goblin in real life secretly. Because he played that way too well. He's obviously Ryuk as well. What else could he be? Sekiro is very hard. It is pretty hard, actually. It's one of the hardest games to get back into, I find. Because I was okay at it. I wasn't amazing, but I was pretty good. And the run that I want to do on it next is easily like 2 or 3 times harder than the hardest thing I've done on it. So to be able to get to that level, I think I'm going to have to play it a lot. I'm gonna have to like make it a more regular thing. So I mean, in efforts to do that, I'm gonna be incorporating it into that marathon speed run that I want to do. But we'll see. We'll see if I even end up doing the big Sekiro run that I was talking about.
Then it summoned me. I bequeath. It will summon torrent.
Having a tough time with it right now. You kind of have to play it as a different game. Like once you really get the rhythm of it, it's essentially like a rhythm type thing, right? Like literally and figuratively. There's like a flow to it that's different in terms of the thought process, and then there's legitimately like a rhythm to playing it for each particular situation. And I would say the prosthetic tools don't make it that much easier. The only real one that helps a lot that I found was the spear, because you can rip the head off of the centipede from the guardian ape and kill it quicker. And I believe it helps in one other fight as well. Could be Joker. He actually, he could be a pretty good Joker, like an older Joker. Very early in the game, Chemist. How far have you made it? Have you beaten the ogre? Chained ogre? Wait for Berserk live action. Berserk live action would be so depressing if it would be so hard to get it right, man. Even though that's more believable, like there's not magic and shit going on as much until like, you know, later on, but more so a lot of hand-to-hand combat, you know, sword fight kind of shit, arrows, like mercenary type stuff. Like that's a lot more possible to make. Like it could be like Lord of the Rings style, but dude, like you can't make a series that's that good only like a 1.5 2 hour movie. Like you'd have to make it a trilogy movie. Like when they did the Golden Arc for Berserk and then they did the animated version of the Golden Arc, like that would be the formula you'd have to follow for a movie. 3 parts that are pretty long, and you could definitely pull it off, I believe. Oh, this is hard. No. Oh yes. Okay, here we go. Goku lives. He looks so much scarier hitting the characters. Oh, no. Okay. I squeezed the controller so hard I could feel it flexing a little bit. That was not good. Almost broke the controller. Oh, man. Green Goblin we see in Spider-Man movie. Sam Raimi told Willem to give it a bit of the Joker vibe. Oh, yeah? I never knew that. That's cool. Sam Raimi was underrated. He was such a good director for that stuff.
Can you hear me?
I could call him a visionary. Visionary would be a better term, even. Like, the movie that he would have made, the Spider-Man 4 he would have made, could have been the best Spider-Man. But they didn't do it, though. Favorite show? Do you mean like anime or like an actual like live action show?
Oh, are you here with
Shogun? I haven't seen Shogun before, no. You have the perfect cast me as Guts. You think you'd make a good Guts character? Yeah, who would be Guts if they were gonna do it? Like that guy's crazy. Like he's massive, man. They wouldn't be able to make him like a real person, I feel, unless you got some really interesting people lined up that don't, or that I'm not aware of that are in Hollywood. Like there's not a lot of people that really look like Guts. And then Griffith would kind of be pretty easy. He's not too bad. Casca would be pretty easy, I think. She's pretty jacked too, though. Actually, they're all like kind of jacked in a like a superhero kind of way. Henry Cavill is Guts, but he would be like, he'd be like not living up to that physique though. That's the thing. It's like Guts is huge. That's like part of the character. He has like such a gigantic sword. Like his strength is easily the biggest selling point, in the sense that if he didn't look like he could use the weapon properly, Henry Cavill, even though he's like, you know, he's got a great physique, he's a really good actor, they'd have to almost get someone that looks sort of like a mutant, but also has like a slightly boyish charm to him, because I'm sure like they wouldn't want to make him look old or something. Obviously Guts is not that old, so yeah, like how would they do that? I don't know. Big film guy, are you into cinema studies? I like a lot of movies that are like really, really cool and enjoy them like most people do, but I definitely do analyze just everything a lot deeper. So that's not just movies. I tend to lean towards movies that are experiences more than just like, oh yeah, I just watch some romantic comedy or like some like random feel-good family movie that was just kind of the same as every other thing that was like a waste of time. I usually like to watch the really good movies, like, you know, really good superhero movies. We're talking about Snowpiercer recently, like stuff that makes you think, that has some tropes from like the politics of the world and stuff like that in it, or maybe just gives you a little bit of like a thrill ride of like mind games and shit. Like, you know, Parasite Snowpiercer, Platform, Dune was great, Avatar, the new Batman movie. I would say Infinity War was peak for Marvel cinema, even though Endgame was good. Infinity War was peak for that. I've seen that so many times. The new Spider-Man was pretty damn good too. Like, I definitely will always watch those, but Marvel has kind of taken a little bit of like a weird turn. What else? Like, even Fifth Element's really cool. I like that kind of stuff. Like RoboCop, Terminator. I don't know, you know, like movies that like really made a crazy impact. Obviously Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner. I haven't seen Evangelist, but I definitely want to. New Blade Runner is sick for sure. Immortals is really good. Immortals is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a good Henry movie as well. Oh man, I want to watch that again. Just even saying that, that was such a crazy movie. The Road. That sounds really familiar. What is The Road about? Bo-Rat. Bo-Rat was pretty good. I didn't mind Bo-Rat. I've watched both of them. I think there's two of them, right? Bo-Rat's a little out there though. Like, it's not like 100% funny to me. Only some of it's funny, but like the shock value of it's up there. So it was interesting just to see for the first time like what he was actually doing. But I didn't necessarily enjoy all of it. I think some of the stuff I didn't enjoy is why it's a good movie, because it's like it's just shocking. It's like a little bit more of a risky thing to do. So, you know, he's making art in some way by doing that. Matrix, obviously, yeah, like the original Matrix series, great. I haven't seen the new one. Movie or show? Oh, Snowpiercer movie when I'm talking about that. Also, forever asked about the favorite show thing. Like, if it's anime, Solo Leveling, if it's a real show, then Daredevil was my favorite. Squid Game is very close, though. Squid Game and Daredevil, very, very close. Check out The Dictator. I've heard The Dictator is pretty crazy. Coco Melon? What is that? Why is he over there? Whoa, swerving. Very sad movie about a father and a son. Oh, yeah. That's like the post-apocalyptic, like kind of, or it's like a little bit of like a
How can I help?
collapsed society. Yeah, dude, The Road with the guy and his son. Dude, that's a great movie. I love that movie. I've seen it twice. I thought of that when you said it, but I wasn't sure if you meant something else. So I was like, yeah, that, and he's like kind of teaching him. Remember, he's like teaching him how to shoot the gun and everything. Oh man, there's some cool scenes in that for sure. It reminds me kind of like a Last of Us / Fallout / maybe like a more realistic take of, I don't know, some other survival thing. It's like a mixture of a couple different things with the vibes of that. I think probably leaning the closest to Last of Us without like the mutants and shit. No Country for Old Men's great. That's a good movie. Joker was great. So the thing with the Joker movie is it was too much for me. I'll be honest. Like it's good. Like it's a really good movie. It achieved what it was supposed to, but I don't think I'm going to watch the second one though, because I'm leaning away from watching like horrific things now, because I'm aware it definitely does damage to you in ways that you don't even realize. So I was a huge fan of like super crazy horror and like, you know, action movies, like gory shit. Even action, I'd still probably keep action in the rotation, but just like stuff that's extreme like that and like very psychotic and all that, it's not something I actually care to get into anymore. So I saw the trailer for the new Joker. It looked amazing, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch it though. First one made me feel sick. It was definitely not a nice feeling after watching it. And I still give it credit. I still think it's excellent for doing that, but I don't want to see those kind of things if I don't have to. Does damage to you? Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Subconsciously, neurologically, it does. Your body doesn't know the difference between fiction and real stuff, right? So anything you see in general, anything your brain takes in as an image, it's not intelligent enough to differentiate, the same as like your discretion upon your will and your mind would be. So it's just taking in snapshots and burning in pathways of things that would be just almost the same as you experiencing it. The only difference is that you don't get PTSD because You're not actually opposed to doing it. You're willing to do it, right? Because you're kind of separating the fiction and the reality. But again, like the thing with your neurology is that it doesn't separate it. It's just the same thing. Violent video games. Video games are like kind of a weird area where the behaviors you're acting out in the way that you have intentions are kind of like it goes really deep with games because you're actually controlling a character, and a lot of them don't look real. Like it's not actually like you have a lot of games that are hyper realistic anyways, so that's a bit different. I'm talking about like imagery where like movies are done really well, where it's like you can clearly see it's like representing something that you could mistake as like pretty realistic, right? So the game thing is more so if someone has the intention to negatively impact harm on somebody in a way, and they're expressing that through the game, that's more of their intention anyways. The game's not necessarily going to make you want to do that. Like it's very unlikely games will make you that way. It's more so the person will take their emotions and channel it through the control aspect of the game. So like violent games themselves most of the time will not make people violent. That was a misconception for sure. That guy's going through the roof, dude. Excuse me? At least that's the way I see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, the intention behind it, like, it has something to say about the person itself, like even before they reach that point. And you could say anyone could be susceptible to getting to that point, but you'll see a lot of the people that, you know, maybe they played a violent game, then they went and they did a violent crime. They were in a very low emotional state already, and they used the game to act out things they wanted to see in the real world already. Now, if you see someone that doesn't have that propensity already, and they're studied enough, or you have enough accounts of knowing their psychological state is good, and they're in really good mental health, and you know even if you studied their brain, you wouldn't be able to find anything abnormal. Then they play super violent games. They're not going to actually like want to kill people specifically just because of that, as much as the other case around. And that's why you don't see most people going and killing people because they played a violent video game. It'd be way worse if what they were proposing was real. Most of the people that played games would have at least considered, planned, or tried, and then like a lot of people would have succeeded in doing bad things at a rate that's much higher than what actually happens. So some people just are using it as like a mechanism to act out their emotions. In my personal take, that's, again, you might not be able to prove that, but that's what I would extract from it. Where's the jazz at though? I like the music in this game quite a bit, so I had the playlist turned off for this one. But I was saying that when we do the next run after this, I might bring it back for the practice runs. Basically, until I get tired of the game soundtrack. But again, this is my second least played game in all the games they've made. So I'm not even close to being tired of the music yet. Even the intro main menu music does not bother me. You're Batman, so you literally can't kill anybody. There you go. Reminds me like of something funny. It's like when it's like the clip of it's a cartoon. It's an episode of the Batman series from the 90s where one of the grunts or the villains, one of his henchmen, like they open a door and Batman's in the room, and then he like closes the door and just leaves him because he's like, I don't think I'm gonna do anything. He's like, I don't even want to screw around with him. He just leaves him there. It's like Batman from the villain's perspective that doesn't have a chance. Most played is Dark Souls 3, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if anything will ever surpass that in terms of gaming overall. If it does, that's impressive. That means that it's a really good game.
To determine if you had. It seems torrent, whereas there is, but I can take gathering.
Like that was a time where I didn't even do anything outside of the streaming when it comes to content. I was taking the videos from the stream and I wasn't even really editing much. It was mainly just uploading runs as they were once in a while to the YouTube. That's how it started. So yeah, like I wasn't even spending time like writing scripts, doing things that have nothing to do with playing games. I wasn't doing the fitness coaching. Didn't have a lot of other priorities, even music. Like obviously I wasn't learning a new instrument or trying to get better at another skill. It was like just playing guitar the way I'd always played it and covering songs. So there's a lot of other objectives that have kept me from playing any game at the frequency I was playing DS3. So I don't know if I could ever catch up to that. Even in the total lifespan of us making content for a really good game, it would be hard. Also wanted to get so many different runs and records and all that, so like just on that game. Most played games GTA. Watch out, man, he might hurt somebody. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh boy, okay. Flasks are just, I'm gonna leave them for now. We don't need to worry about that. Being stuck here is really annoying. I could see a health bar through the ground. Was that because of outside? Path of Exile is a drug. It's funny because I did a sponsored stream for Path of Exile, and I had played it just as a way to test my computer way back when I had a shitty computer. So I was familiar a little bit, but then actually having to sit down since then and having a reason to go through all the details and like kind of teach people, or even have people teach me, you know, how it works, it made me realize that game's a nightmare. Like there's so much information. The perk tree or the skill tree in it is so big that it like actually alone would make me not want to play the game if I was even into the isometric stuff. That was way too much. Like super in depth, man. Jeez. How many hours did I put into Dark Souls 3? Like probably 6,000 to 6,500 between that. Quite a lot. It was like most of what I streamed for the entirety of me streaming. And I was doing so like some days were, it was like 8 to 10 hour days. There was a point where I didn't take a break from streaming for 2.5 months or something like that. And then I think I was doing like full-time / even more than full-time hours. I would say full-time's 8 hours a day, but again, 7 days a week, sometimes doing 10 hours. Those days, it was most of what I was doing. So that was the grind, man. That was when I was trying to get the world record for SL1 speedruns multiple times, and then no major skips, and also getting damageless, and or maybe even before damageless, like the big hitless runs. But yeah, there was one stretch where I remember I did not take a day off for like 2.5 months or something like that. Nowadays, that'd be hilarious. I would definitely not even consider trying to do that unless I was compelled. And I don't know if I would ever be compelled to do that. Like, definitely not that many hours. No chance of that many hours, but even just the frequency, it's quite a lot. I bet you this will last, actually, if I chug this. And then I do Warcry. Probably do that right away. Should kill the guy. Then there's no need to use the bow, and I just have the stuff running already to kill the bug guy. Schedule looking like right now. I stream for about 4 hours a day, sometimes 6. We did an 8-hour stream, I think it was yesterday, right? That was rare, but again, 4 hours is usually the preferred amount. And there's no set amount of days. So some weeks will be 4 days, some will be 5, some will be 3, some will be, you know, maybe most of the week, depends. But I don't really think of it as like I have to do that. It's whatever makes the most sense. So this run, obviously, like I have a very particular goal of getting it within a week. Like that's something I wanted to do. So that means it'd be nice to stream most of the week, but you know, next week that might not be the case if I get this week. What would I do for a living if I didn't stream? So the way I look at it is that it depends on what phase I'd be at. So like I've built up the whole fitness and nutrition coaching thing, right? So there's been months where that's done really good. and I could put all my time and energy into that and make that an actual business that is just like super scalable to the point where it'd probably be beneficial to still make content to promote it, but it would be more so fitness and nutrition. I'm just trying to like hit the gaming community side of things, because I know the people that play games, like they also have the same interests as wanting to, you know, work out and be in shape, especially if you like do jobs that are sedentary. Anybody in general can apply to that, but if you made like a more focused effort, I'd probably be compelled, if that was already going on, to just make content promoting that. And then it depends on what skill sets I would have picked up at that time. So if I never learned how to do like trading, like investing and stuff like that, crypto, options chains, if I didn't know how to resell items or like, you know, make like flip things for cash like very quickly, like that would be another thing to discount. So I would pick some sort of job that makes more than minimum wage to stack money, and then I'd start investing that money into the most aggressive return to compound it with all the extra income, and live under my means probably for like 3 to 5 years, and then I would just make a business after that. Like that's essentially what I did for this kind of stuff. But it would just be the same thing, but I'd probably do like I do a sales job that was commission based, or I would work like landscaping or like do something that like pays a little bit more than normal, and I wouldn't really like have a life for like maybe again 3 to 5 years, and then I would just take that, then I'd start to like slow down on that thing and then ease out of it into something else that was a passion. Music would be very difficult, so even music production, I don't think I'd ever be able to be happy with doing as a full-time job, so that'd probably become a side thing if it was even profitable, but again, it would just be more of a passion thing. Fitness nutrition would always be a thing that I could always do, and then I think it would mainly be investing, so stock market, and then real estate would have been something like to go in fractionally on real estate deals that were with people that I'd network with, or, you know, if I couldn't network, then I would maybe go into like pretty safe companies like S&P 500 type deals for long-term gains, and then like, you know, run like crypto bull cycles for like the coins that were more respectable, instead of like trying to bet on ones that were like new and weird. So that like stuff like that would probably be the idea, but the goal would be like get out of the cash generating job that's not passionate immediately as quick as possible, which I think for most people, if you did it really well, and even in this year, if you could find a really good living situation, like where you wouldn't be paying like out the ass, like it was like somewhat respectable regarding inflation, it should take 3 to 5 years to really make a crazy amount of difference. I think that's always how I've thought about it, but it definitely would have, like, all that stuff's very different than what I originally, when I was younger, wanted to do. So I think that's the smartest thing, because then it would be able to build a little bit of freedom, with the sacrifice in the short term being that you have to grind something that is just stacking the cash, and not have socialization or, you know, commitments to anything other than just whatever you're grinding. That's kind of the only way to do it if you want to like really get ahead, in my opinion, unless you build a business right away that's amazing. But other than that, like even school is going to be too slow, so like there's not really anything else that I think of. Described a whole different reality. Well, again, like the framework of what I just said, I actually did do that, but I was lucky enough to do it with something I enjoyed. So I did do the whole 3 to 5 years of not having a life and just grinding constantly, like every hour I was awake, other than just sleep, eating, you know, some occasional time to myself and everything like that. Like obviously it wasn't as crazy of a grind as some people that are doing like 100 hours a week, but you know, like there were 70-hour weeks of the stuff that I wanted to invest in. Minimum 50, I would say, like, and especially like off the channel that you didn't see. But the problem with that is you can't build skills. There's not enough time. So if you can't build the skills passively while doing the thing you're doing, the thing you're doing has to be something you really enjoy, in my opinion. And so if the thing you are doing you don't enjoy, but it makes you the money, then you need to get out of that as quickly as possible with financial flexibility to build skills so you can slow down on it. So that's why I said like the 3 to 5 year time frame, and then investing so you can compound the money, so you're hedging against inflation, but also aggressively growing all that residual income you're not using to consume things, and then consuming under your means so you can like be more aggressive with the margin of that in terms of principle. So like that's all you can really do. If you're like an average person, I would say. If you're like super intelligent, then you would have never done any of that. You would have made a business that was good. You would be probably a multimillionaire by the time you're like 25 or something like that. So, and like some of that might take a bit of luck, but especially in like the time frame we're talking, like these days, like there's so much opportunity. You can do like, you can turn your whole life around in like a year, probably, like way quicker than what I'm saying. but it takes an insane amounts of sacrifice. The more you sacrifice and the more you're willing to learn from the mistakes and, you know, again, like really critically analyze what is actually a good ROI, like what's a good return on investment for my time specifically, not even talking about investing in things, but more so in how you invest in yourself and what you choose to actually do. That's really how you make a game plan to be aggressive with growing in terms of success and everything, or whatever you quantify as success. Could be like even learning things you just enjoy that aren't money based or whatever, or aren't superficial in other people's eyes. It could just be like something that's a passion. But whenever you dedicate to something, you definitely have to think of what's the highest priority thing that you can do. What's a task that you can do right away that's going to give you the most? And then you just go down the list and you check off each one. And some of them you don't even do because they're not really good returns, because then you'll be spread too thin and you can't really like scale something that well, right? And I've made that mistake as well. So very much so understand the downside of that too, even in things I do enjoy. Backup, yeah, like what I do mainly is like the YouTube channel is my main thing for sure. This was originally my main thing. I did do the streaming originally as like my main gig, but I can still do the streaming as my main gig as well. Like it's just like I do both now because I really enjoy making the videos, and that is the most serious endeavor out of all of them for sure. I'm trying to make the second channel kind of like a repeat of how I started the first channel with what I know now, with better like setup and everything. And then the music channel eventually, it could be revenue positive within this year if I really push for it, but it's a little harder because the videos aren't as long, so they need you to get a certain amount of watch time. I think it's like 5,000 hours or something, and then 1,000 subs. So I know we could hit the 1,000 subs, but the 5,000 hours is the hard part, which means I'll have to make very long covers or even start doing videos on the music channel that talk about things, which is, I'm super open to that too. I think that'd be really fun. So it's yeah, it's a very, there's a lot of things to spring from, but the biggest thing I think that makes the most sense, ironically, actually isn't even the content. It is the fitness and nutrition coaching. That is the most scalable idea I have in general, that like with just pure time and effort put in, like there's actually like a very tangible amount of growth I could get from it. And I am in the stage of building that further than what I've done, because I can't just do, you know, Discord calls with people and make plans. I have to find something that's more automated. And then it's about making funnels to, you know, get the more general public in on being informed about that, making email lists, notifying the email lists with, you know, maybe like first time offers, and then like being able to get in their minds subconsciously. And then it's just a matter of time, because people will always be like for all of time, and it's probably until I'm dead, people will always fall into situations where they want to improve their health. And I'm trying to be the option where like I give you information that saves you some time. So if people find that valuable and it's reputable and they can see that, then there's a guarantee that if I'm subconsciously in the mind, that you might just think of reaching out before someone else, and then give it a try, and then word of mouth from there for the general public could spread. So then it has to be self-automated and sufficient. So I'm really working on that aspect this year. But so far it's just been like trying to do the proof of concept where I get testimonials, and then I also prove to myself that I've actually gotten knowledge on the skill set that is competitive, right? And also kind of debunks the industry, because I'm trying to save people money and also like just bullshit in terms of all the things out there that you could buy that are useless. But yeah, grant for a year, take all savings to a casino, triple it. You know, it's actually really funny. I have a friend that like, he didn't do the first part you're talking about, but he did actually go to a casino and did get really lucky with it. And then I think he did something funny where he took the money. I think he actually invested it in like real like stocks or something, and then lost some, but he did actually make quite a bit of money at the casino. It's funny. And I was like, you should have just left it with the casino as like the high note and then just chilled, man. Like, what weapon would you use for a DS3 SL1? I would use the iron balls. Also, you're not interrupting. Sorry, I was kind of just explaining that discussion topic a little bit more in detail. It's a little bit of a rant, but yeah. I just find it ironic that technically, like, what I am the most passionate about, well, it's hard to say. I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about the helping people get healthy. But that aspect, like the stuff that's not related to any of this, that still kind of includes some of you guys, because I do make a lot of fitness plans for you guys for sure.
what a blessing.
Like most of the
Such
clients
a
I've worked with
ease.
are the community for sure. But that aspect is actually the biggest scalable thing that I do. Like that could have the biggest impact in my life so far if I put the necessary time into it. There's other ideas I have that have a way higher ceiling than that too, but like I have to start them though. I have to actually start experimenting with them sooner than later so I can see the potential. But I like learning different things, so I'm probably going to naturally just fall into certain stuff, and if it really sticks, if I feel like there's value in it, then I'll keep doing it. But this has been one of the biggest ones for me that I've enjoyed a lot. Thoughts on Narcissus? I've definitely had some experiences that were pretty funny. Well, not even funny, but just eye-opening, I guess you could say. One thing that I learned is that you will get, like, depending on who you are, it might not be everybody, but if you pay attention to someone that truly has, like, you know, maybe the full-blown qualities of that, and like they're really suffering from it, they, you know, it's going to be kind of obvious, but like if you're the type of person where you want to see the good in people, like they'll really attach to you in a way where it's interesting, but they won't be able to handle most other people though. So if you have someone you know that like you're kind of suspicious of that with, and they really can't handle like most other people, like they have a big problem with it, but they're okay with you, you might be a type of person where you're actually kind of enabling or helping them in some way. And you'd probably know if it's a toxic situation, but like out of all the ones I've noticed, they really do latch on to people that are more empathic, if that makes sense. Or that really genuinely want to see the best in somebody. And the reason they do that is because you have no will to challenge the thing that will make them see the reflection of themselves until you realize that it's toxic to you and you have to. So you'll try to still see the best of the greener side of things, and they'll only accept it and like you the most because you don't hold the reflection to them of themselves. If they find people like themselves, they will literally implode, right? So they won't be able to function around most people in general, plus people especially like them.
What are you looking
So that's the biggest thing I learned about like narcissism, is that you can kind of like see, it gets exposed by itself just by like the byproduct of the surrounding social dynamic, and then your involvement with that person if you're very close to them. You can kind of see with the relationships and how they all connect, like that, yeah, like that person's not functioning on a level that's healthy. It's most likely they have a little bit of that problem, right? Or a lot of it.
I'm not in love with.
And there's a deeper level to it too. Like they'll do a lot of things to you specifically if you let them, that are pretty wild. But I think sometimes it can be also misinterpreted as a term too. So, but in my understanding, I like to pay attention to like the effects that it has on the surrounding people, and then also like how do they handle people by themselves, you know, if you're not in the situation.
What's your that bitch put you up to this, eh? Damn it! I'll rip you to God damn it! Why ain't it me? Why ain't it ever?
Iron Balls. Oh yeah, Iron Balls is like a really good move for level 1. Actually, even for a leveled character, I'd say. Am I interested in raising the stakes, Sharkbait? What would that mean? Perception type of issue. The line between narcissism and altruism is very thin and veiled. That's true too. There's a lot of different things where the qualities of the one definition could be like also present in another one too. There can be some overlapping.
Did I forget? I seek you a very but to steady such, please.
But I think someone truly that is like
Brave tongue.
suffering in that way, like they, like the way that they operate will be, there'll be some obvious things if you just pay attention to it. And I think the best way I can put it too is that there's an even more general system that I actually look at now. Like if you know Patrick Bet-David, he said this quite often. Like he was the first person to mention it in such a simple way that I enjoyed, where it's like there's just I think it's there's 4 categories of people that exist on the planet essentially. It's multipliers, dividers, subtractors, and adders are additional. So obviously people that take from you and don't give are bad. That sucks. People that try to divide you from the other people you like and isolate you are really bad. That's usually like when we're getting into like the narcissist territory, or like someone that has another type of disorder. People that add to your life are good, but then people that like around them your life multiplies, like they just provide so much value that you just continuously get such a crazy benefit from them. They're the best people that exist when it comes to like the social surrounding. So there's only those 4 types of people. There's nothing else. It's pretty much that, because even in like give and take situations that are pretty equal, you're going to be playing your role as one of those, someone else's, but it's always just some sort of balance of that. And that's more how I look at everything, like generally. Meave, thank you for the good luck, dude. How far into the run am I? If you're asking about like how much is left, about an hour and 45 minutes until the end. Do you believe this is set in stone, or do you believe... Oh, no, people can change 100%. Yeah, no, this isn't something that like you're born one of those people. I'm just saying that like when someone arrives at a situation in that current moment, like you can be any of those things. It's very hard, I feel, to be someone that's a divider and then go to a multiplier. Like that might never happen in someone's life. I think people that are more of like a neutral basis, like kind of closer to additional or subtracting, can probably shoot up to being a multiplier, but multipliers are also very rare. I don't know many people that are multipliers in my life, but I will say I have kept the people that are multipliers as close as I possibly can. But I don't even blame anybody for not being one, because to be a multiplier, you have to have such a crazy agency over yourself that your purpose and your virtues are so like transcendent of like the norm of how you're told to, you know, be a good person essentially, or what even like morals really even mean. It's like something that goes above that sometimes, because what you do for yourself is so powerful that it actually just can't help but rub off on others and continue to give them so many benefits even passively. Think of it as like the multiplier would be like a dude in an MMO that basically has so many buffs like on him that like if you just stand beside him, you're just getting like benefits essentially. Like you just can stand in the area, you're getting healed automatically, you're getting like more intelligent, you're getting stronger. Like there's just all these different things. So that's one of those things that are more indicative of someone's self-development individually, right? Which is not required. I think that you should always try to aim for someone at least not taking away from you more than you're giving. Like make it a net equal kind of thing, and then it's amazing if someone can be even more so giving than that, like just because they have the ability to, and then it maybe raises you up and you're able to do that. But the dividing is very dangerous, and I think there can always be a time where people fall into the subtracting thing. The dividing is a little bit more rare though. Side gig was being a philosopher. Was he? That's funny, dude. No, it's funny that people mention philosophy a lot, because I never actually studied it, and I still have a lot to learn about the philosophers that existed. It's a subject that I'm definitely not really well versed on, but that is a funny thing, because I do like to have philosophical conversations. Like I've always liked that since I was a kid, so that is always going to be a thing. But actual historic philosophy, though, I'm not as well versed on. Became a little bit more in more recent time, like maybe the last couple years. I like the cave allegory, like the Plato's cave one, the most, I think, out of anything, just because that's actually really practical and that still exists right now. In any time of society, I think that's always relevant. Multiplier, bruh? Yeah. Yeah, I was saying like you could be a multiplier, a subtractor, an adder, or a divider in terms of your value that you bring when it comes to like the social dynamics of life overall, or the cooperative dynamics. It can even just be simple. It doesn't have to be like you're collaborating on something that's professional or like educational or anything. It could just be like a friend, you know, or a family member or significant other, whatever it is. Like just basic roles that people play and how they go about doing that. Walks in and slaps me with a giant carp. Oh, you can't slap me with a carp. I can't get hit. Can we change that to like you threw it, but then I like slightly stepped to the side and it hit the wall, and then we saved it for dinner? Sounds like a boring subject. Oh, philosophy sounds like a boring subject. Is proprietor one of those things? So like this isn't based on like terminology that like has a definition to it that's like that specific. It's based on just like the net gain of something, or the net gain or net loss. It's like a mathematics kind of thing, you could think of it as. Like it doesn't really quantify what the value is in specificity to each person, because that's going to be very much subjective. It's more so just, again, gain or loss, or, you know, significant gain, or, you know, like extreme loss that's focusing on. You always feel like you're a subtraction to your friends. They all have wives and jobs, but you're still going to school, and you feel like you're always taken from the friendship but never giving. So like, what about it? If I can ask, like, just as a way to close that off, what would be being taken away? Like, what are they giving that you're not able to? Like, I guess would be a better part. Like, what's the part where it's like there's a difference? Because like that could be misinterpreted in some cases. Like I could think of a few examples where what you're saying, it wouldn't be that you're taking away. They just might be adding more than you're adding, but they don't actually feel a loss, right? That like, because that's the thing. I'm not trying to say that like if somebody's not giving as much as someone else that they actually are subtracting. Subtracting is a lot different. Like that's not the same thing as like giving what you can and having the good faith and intention, and then someone gives even more because they can give more and they want to because they're at a level where they've ran their life that way and it led to that point. Same thing with the multiplying. Like I said, with that, like there's not many people that are multipliers, and if you have one that's around you, they probably don't expect you to multiply. And if you had two multipliers together, that creates like crazy things. So that's very rare. That's a very small fraction of humans. So it's like it's not expected really. It's not like a normal thing to have it always be exactly eye to eye. And I don't think it's healthy for us to calculate everything to the last detail all the time with that, unless you're just curious and both people want to go to that level maybe, but like it's not that important. It's more about just like don't be sucking like the resources or the energy out of the situation to a point where you don't subsist unless you do that, and then the other person's not feeling like it's worth it because if they weren't around you, they'd actually be better. Like that's kind of the idea. Like, and I don't even mean be better if there was they're around people like friends, whatever, significant other that are able to provide that, but even by themselves, right? Gage, I'm having a goo day. What's going on, dude? I'm trying to not turn into goo. Like as long as I don't get hit by anything, I think I'll be fine. I don't want to be a bloodstain. It rhymes with divider and all the other things. You said, oh, you're joking. You're making the mixtapes. I see. Sometimes you don't need to provide anything material. Yeah, so what I'm talking about with these things aren't actually material based. That's what I was trying to say. Like the value is going to be subjective to the individual. So some people might value other things. And then like also there's going to be some sort of realm where certain things people might expect aren't actually even like necessary or make any sense, and they might actually be somebody that is a little bit more misguided on what value could be for them that actually would be healthy. So in a healthy way, I should say, a lot of this isn't actually even going to be like a material thing at all, but material can be used as tools to help people sometimes too. So it really depends on like the intention and the application of certain things, the way it's done. It's not as simple as, oh, I'm adding by like I'm giving you money. Like that's not really Like giving someone money could actually be a problem. Like that could be a bad thing. But if you have good intention with it and you know it's like, you know, they're not really, like it's not good for them, that's just a lesson you have to learn. It's not like you're actually subtracting by doing that either. This is where it gets a little bit more confusing, but I don't even think in the original discussion that Patrick was having, he even really got into that. It was more just saying that those are the types of people on a mathematic basis that this is the representations we have when it comes to exchange. Like in a social dynamic kind of sense, or like a community sense. Fuck math. Teach us to do hitless runs. Well, how would you do a hitless run if you didn't know how to count, though? It's like, how many times you get hit? I don't know. I got hit 4 times. It's like, no, that's 400 times. It's like, I can't count 0. Well, should have done math. We eventually turn into goo because we can't grow anymore, and we just age and goo up. It's kind of funny because like maybe that actually is true at some point, but you actually already were like jelly when you were born too. Like there's a part where you're literally just like a gelatin thing, like some sort of like amoeba gelatin weird thing. You start getting bones. So we might just, maybe the circle of life is actually just being jelly. Jello, I feel, is like the arch enemy of being jelly, like a jelly person. And it's a secret that the aliens actually implanted on our planet to make us confused and think that actually eating Jello has nothing to do with our origin, but it really is actually like a sacrilegious thing to ourselves, because we came from gelatinous beginnings. And there's some sort of like thing where because we're doing that, it's actually making us less intelligent. We're harming ourselves, is the brain's adaptations to this point actually do understand that we need to praise the gelatin to transcend and stuff, you know? Like this is real history. The stuff they don't tell you on Netflix, man. Goo cannibalism, yep. Exactly. Were you strawberry? I don't know what the color would have been or the flavor, but I don't even want to know what the flavor would be, actually. But we're going to just skip that completely. That might not be good. The color might differ, though. I don't know if it would be the same for everybody. Shaddam, what's up, dude? Jello is our non-developed brothers. It's basically like they're synthetically making a version of us, and then we're eating it. You know, it's like, wow. Even yeah, just it's weird, dude. Some people eat things with bones in them too. Like what we eating bones? Like bone marrow? Like what is this? We're just making fun of ourselves. No, I'm joking. This is not actually like an intellectual conversation. I'm just saying random shit now. I'm gonna go over here. Cello doesn't count. Cello's fine. Cello is actually something you should do a lot of. If you play the cello, play even more of it. You can't do enough of that. It's like, even if you've seen School of Rock, you know, you turn the cello sideways, you got a bass. You know, you got the finger action. You don't have to do the whole like bow thing where you're like you could, but turn it sideways once in a while, play the bass. The older you become, you're going back into a child. Yeah, it's true. Like in some ways, even on the external side of things, for sure. And then there's also like, I guess, a full circle type of mind process where you come inside the world and you're like, well, I don't have an ego. I have to form that kind of. And then you could also lose it, or you could lose a lot of it, or maybe like only use it for the better, the greater good by the time you're going out of the world too, which is really interesting. So in a spiritual sense, or like a, I guess a consciousness way, you can almost come back to a lot of similar places mentally too. And like all the BS is in between that. Some, like basically most of it's necessary, but you know, some obviously not, depending on how you do things. I like how my hair is almost the color of the trees. Wonder if he thinks I'm a tree. I think I need to be more behind him again. Was your character look like Admiral from Monster Hunter World? I don't know who that is. I played Monster Hunter World very briefly, but I don't know who Admiral is. Admirable? Can't speak right now, apparently. Now, this character's supposed to be like a Super Saiyan. Like he's basically like a Dragon Ball Z guy. I was trying to make Goku, but the haircut is really difficult to pull off, so it's kind of like Goku. Got hit one time last run, Thomas? I did, yeah. Unfortunately. Brian Hawk from Hajime no Ippo. I think someone's asked me if I've seen that before. I don't know what that's about, though. Brian's a funny name to have in an anime. That sounds very Japanese, of like a name of a series to have a Brian in it. I'm turning into the goo person, yeah. I'm just devolving right now. I'm turning into a slime. What happened to Thanos? Thanos I only use once in a while. He doesn't make it too far on a lot of runs, ironically. And it's probably just random, but he actually doesn't make it too far. So I was like, I'm gonna make a new character. Because we've used a lot of the other ones. There's some that I don't pick that often. I do like to pick like very weird looking characters, or like super like jacked characters that look like cartoons or something like that. Like that's usually the preference nowadays, but I have a couple I haven't used in a while. They're more mild. We have the Incredible Hulk mismatched head. It's like the She-Hulk head with the Hulk body, slim version, and then we got Devil Lady, we got Avatar Lady, and then there's also, I did use Slim Homer Simpson or Chad Homer Simpson once. And then there's Manlet Thanos as well. There's Jason Bourne, which I made for some reason. I don't know why I made Jason Bourne, but we did. And then I turned that guy into this dude. Okay, he didn't see me. Good. If I could make a character that isn't even a human, I would. I would make aliens and like animals and just random stuff that doesn't make sense, like robots and stuff. I would still play the game even if like they weren't even bipedal, like they didn't even have arms and legs, they just floated around like a squid. Like that'd be completely fine with me, but like technically you can't do that yet until they make a character or creator like that. Do a lot of weird stuff. I always used to like playing like Tony Hawk Pro Skater and using all the weird custom characters. Like getting all the cheat codes like moon gravity and just doing weird stuff. So that would be fun. I want to play as a Rune Bear. That'd be amazing. Rune Bear or like one of the donkeys or something like that. One of the octopus. Oh my god, or octopi, whatever you want to call it. Big head mode. Big head mode was amazing. Don't you dare even be sarcastic with big head mode. So somehow that was better. I'm pretty sure the last detail of this problem that I'm getting is all relating to the exact part of the rock that knife hits. Like, to the point where I couldn't tell you what part makes it different without moving it really far. So there's that was a really specific, like, by the pixel change or something that made him not even go all the way. And he's kind of like stuck earlier on the rock there, which definitely helped. It's kind of weird. I would actually prefer to have that happen every time. It's a lot easier. But then also, like, the way I did that kind of proves I need to be more behind him. I just don't want to be so far that I'm on the other side of him and then he kind of like jumps to his right. That'd be bad. Oh, did I already purchase? Ooh. What am I doing? Oh, wait, no, that's good. That's good. What am I saying? We need to do that. I thought we were further in the run for a second. I'm going to buy a rune arc now, too.
You're in your nomad loud, you're...
Pretty much on the very edge there. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It was like the very, very edge of the rock, plus it was also low, too. It was almost so low that it hit the rock in front of it. Scarface, I've tried only a little bit, but I'm one of those people where I like most food in general. The way I see it is if some of my favorite stuff is eating raw fish and like really weird sea creatures and stuff like that. Like I like octopus, calamari, even non-fried. I like raw salmon quite a lot. I like eel, you know. Pretty much anything. I like fish eggs, like roe and stuff like that. What else? Trying to think of like things that people think are disgusting. Like most things that people think are disgusting, I like. So I'm pretty sure I would like all of it. I've tried, like, I know Musaka's one that is really good. Not sure if you're familiar with that. It's a good one. What's it called? The one dessert. Baklava. Baklava's great. One of the best cuisines? Oh yeah, probably. I mean, first people, right? Had a lot of like a big head start to make the food. You better be making good food. Been here for a while. Thought it was He-Man and you got super hyped. It actually kind of does look like He-Man now that you say that. He-Man has pretty much the same haircut as this guy. Although, this is like spiked back a little bit. Same length though, roughly. Man, imagine we could make Skeletor. That'd be amazing. Could get some sound effects when you win. Like, play as Borealis. What is Borealis? Looks like Vegeta. Yeah, he kind of looks a little bit more like Vegeta for sure. Doesn't have the widow's peak though. Vegeta with a better hairline. best food comes from places of scarcity because people have to get creative. That's very true too. Like actually using ingredients to the max and trying to find out how to make new flavors and all that. All right, wait, we go morning. There's a Hungarian food that's basically jellified pig fat with pig parts in it, like ears and nose. That's interesting. I mean, like, again, the context of that doesn't bother me nearly as much as how the flavor would be. If the flavor is good, I can deal with almost any texture. I'm not a texture person to the level where I'm like, oh, that's off-putting. Sometimes I'll expect a texture and it's not going to be like that. That's a little weird, but like I don't really deal badly with textures or anything or whatever. It's mainly just if the flavor's good. And typically fat from a lot of different things is usually what brings flavor. So if you're saying that it's like raw, if it's cooked essentially, then yeah, it's probably going to be pretty good, even if it's using like odds and ends, like even organ meat and stuff like that. Like it's not terrible in my opinion. I haven't had all of the different types of organ meats, but I would try them. I always used to think that if I was ever invited to Fear Factor, I would do really good on that show. Like when I was a kid, I was always like laughing at the people because I'm like, I could easily do that. And mainly with the idea that they're not going to give you something that's going to kill you. So it's like, you know, you're going to be fine by eating it. It's just a matter of like, it's a mental thing, right? So those challenges on Fear Factor, I was always like, yeah, it's super easy. Like, what's the deal with that? Sleepy dragon? Oh yeah, the big sleeping dragon. What about it? It's cooled, that's how the fat jellifies, but it is cooked originally though, right? Like we're not just talking about raw. That'd be a little weird. Carlos, it's going good, dude. This is the first actual run, no resets so far. It's going pretty good. I'm a little bit slow on this one. I think we can get a bit quicker, but yeah, I'm aiming to get this today. You brought up CL Smooth. I don't think that was me that brought up CL Smooth. Unless you're talking to someone else in chat. Meef? Is that for somebody else? Yeah, I like Action Bronson. The rapper 9. I might have heard 9 before. I'd have to listen to it. I've heard so many rappers that's really hard to remember unless I listen to their discography enough to actually have some favorite songs from an album or something. If it's like only 1 or 2 times. So many random names I can't remember. Eat boiled intestines stuffed with rice. Yes, I've heard about that before, so I would try that. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Like, there's nothing like that's what I'm saying. Like like what people are saying with the way it's worded or like the presentation. Like it's like obviously again something's gonna taste a lot better than it sounds, but even how it sounds doesn't sound that bad. There's nothing anyone said. Like there's certain things I can think of where I'd be like, okay, I'll eat it, but that does start to sound a little sus, right? Like eating bugs and stuff like that. Totally would, but just that's where it gets a little weird because you're eating a whole thing that hasn't really, you don't even dissect it. It's just like you're eating the whole bug. Again, like certain types of organs are a little weird, and then like that's about it. Just certain organs, bugs, and maybe like really rare things like pufferfish. If you don't have it detoxified properly, you can die. So like stuff like that would be, I'd be a little bit careful. Character looks like is that Cure? Is that how you say that? All right, we're getting back to Margit now. Haggis, I would try haggis. I've never had a thing against it. I think over here though, sheep lung was I don't know if it still is banned or something like that. I don't think you can actually get haggis in Canada because of the sheep lung thing, but I was told that by someone that was Scottish, and then like I looked into the laws, like they were saying they that's what they believed, and I did read that like you can't, like it's like not something that's easy to get here, or if you, I don't know if you were to make it at a restaurant it would be illegal. That's what I was under the impression of. like the actual like obtaining the actual sheep lung itself. Okay. Looking good. Does raw fish have parasites? You can get parasites from raw fish for sure. 100%. The thing is though that like what I believe is that a lot of us have parasites in our body already, and that's actually what makes you crave food that's bad for you. So like, I do believe there's parasites existing in you already. Like, and they actually are from like bad lifestyle and stuff like that. And you'll notice actually, it's kind of interesting. I guess this is like a really weird belief. It's very out there, but there'll be times that they almost kind of like come awake, and then you start to want something that you don't even logically understand that much. Ooh, we're good here. We're good. He didn't get me. He missed. So I actually think that, yeah, a lot of people do have parasites personally. Maybe not in the way that you recognize a parasite that would be in a fish. That's like a little bit easier to understand, but again, don't have to believe that at all. I'm okay if we don't get too far into that discussion. It's an interesting one though. Will I try D4S4? What is D4S4? Oh, we have determination on still. I should do a run with this character, and we should get like something that looks like the Dragon Ball Z type attacks. Spirit Bomb and all that. Like maybe Wrath of God. Ooh, that's a really good idea, dude. Magic Dragon Ball Z hitless. You can only use Wrath of Gods, like something that looks like a Kamehameha, and like other types of beam type attacks. That'd be so cool, man. Definitely got to do that at some point. Oh, Diablo. I'm not a Diablo fan personally. Never been into Diablo, so I won't be playing it. But if you're playing the season 4 of it, I hope it goes well. Let me know how it is. I watched a little bit of it, so I'm a little familiar with what it looks like. I get the basic idea of Diablo already, definitely, but yeah, let me know what you think about it, like how it compares to the other one, or the previous season. Sorry, not the previous game. I think Axe Talisman makes more sense here. That's how we've done it so far, but Sword Seal might be better. So I might actually... Oh, you know what? I think I might have used Sword Seal before. Let's just see. Let's check. Might be okay. Oh, not really.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Yeah, Sword Seal is probably better there. Because I would have finished him off. Damage was noticeably different.
Remember thee, tarnished, smoldering with thy meager flame. Cower in
If someone took a deworming medicine,
the night.
interesting question. My eye is so itchy.
Brook thee.
There's a parasite in my eyeball. No, I'm joking. Joking.
You there? It's tightly. God, you'll breach. Well, but of course.
You're your own parasite? There you go. Comet spells for Spirit Bomb. Like Comet Azure and all that. I think Spirit Bomb kind of is like Wrath of Gods, but just a way bigger version. It's a good one too. Yeah, it'd be a cool run to do. Like a magic hitless. Might be hard though for Elden Beast, I don't know. Change your mind by starting with Margit? No, like I'm actually not starting with Margit. I still do Draconic Tree Sentinel first. The fight was just a little bit different because I didn't use the right talisman. I'm gonna put this one on. Speaking of talismans, let's put that on too. Ooh, cancel that. I need a better shot. Oh no, I don't want a buff. I don't need a buff. All right, we're super strong. That doesn't really matter though. Looks really cool, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Golden Bow is technically Super Saiyan power up. Yeah, I guess it would be. You're right. We already have almost all the components here. I like the He-Man kind of vibe though. I might have to actually make one that looks a little more like He-Man. It's like I feel like this would be He-Man if his hair wasn't spiked, if it was straight. And like kind of little more like parted in the front. Burster, thanks for the good luck, dude. Welcome back. How's your day going so far? Day wasn't too bad. Nice, nice. Thank God it's Friday though. Yeah, there you go. For the Friday enjoyers, this is the day of all days. It's the day to the beginning of the rest of the week that is the week of the all ends that you have always wanted, but always knew it was there since the last time it happened. It's the best way I can put it. How long does this run usually? I've been running it at a pace lately on average that's around 2.5 hours, but can get it lower than that as well. I'm aiming for like 2:15 would be nice. Gotta be very quick from this point if we're even gonna get close to that though. So no promises, but yeah, like ideally 2:15. And that'd be in-game time, that wouldn't be on like the actual clock. All right, now time to go to the scary part. Slightly spooky part. Spooky, scary, ballista guys. Gorgeous. That guy chasing me is kind of funny though. He's so close that I don't know. I actually don't know. Can he make it up the stairs? Oh, he do be making it though. Okay. And he's throwing stuff. Let me just go over here. Friday is Al, your head hurts. So your head always is guaranteed to hurt by Friday, or is that just like how it's going so far today for you? Spooky, scary ballista guys send bolts down your spine. Oh yeah. Instead of playing trumpets, they're playing your spinal column as an instrument. The vertebrae. We'll call them vertebros. Kind of hard to see the guy through the bush. Still got a headshot. Just want to hit this guy. That was spooky. Speaking of spooky stuff. Jeez. Probably the weirdest part right here. Not being able to... Oh my god. Ooh. Okay, that worked. It's still safe, but yeah, ooh. Not the greatest timing there. Okay. It's a new one. Ooh, spooky. That was not the plan, yeah. It's okay that like they actually are distracted, but if I go a little bit to the side of them on the right, they will not be distracted anymore. So I was like maybe a couple feet away from being in a spot with the way I landed. That was very bad. Like you could just do it that way every time and probably get away with it. I choose to jump around the tree because even if they turned around and saw you, you still have a way to escape. It's a little easier. Can't take fall damage either. Yes. No damage can be taken from anything in general. The only thing you're going to see where I heal is mainly the extra health the talisman gives me that I keep putting on. So I have to like make sure that the health that gets added is full. But I can't take any damage. I gotta go daytime. Big boy beat by big balls. Big boy ball fist beat down would be a good album name. Up and coming rapper right there. Steal it from me. Man, I wonder if Source Seal actually would make more sense on this than Axe Talisman. It seems like it would. I'm gonna give it a try purely for the damage, and then if something goes terribly wrong, I'll warp out right away, but I think it's gonna be a smarter idea. I really do. I don't think Axe Talisman makes as much sense on this. Like, he's going to go phase 2 regardless. And there is a stagger built in for that. And then second part, like, we'll build up enough R2s right before that where he'll have to stagger. He might even still stagger early too, so I don't think the Talisman's going to change that at all. But the endurance will be nicer, and then we'll have more damage by a little bit. Time of day make a difference? It just makes it easier to see them. Like, my shadows are turned up to the maximum, I believe. Or pretty high, at least. So it helps with that.
am the Lord of all that is golden. And one day, we'll return together to our home.
Snuka, thanks, dude.
Bathed in rays of gold.
I love that attack. That crouch attack is like the coolest animation for a fist weapon. Next to Dark Souls 2, the flying kick with the bone fist, the uppercut, man. So nice. All right, let's go to Limgrave Tower. Get the God Rune, and then kill Radahn. Radahn's another one where I think Axe Talisman might be not worth it either. I'm very curious of if it makes any sense at this point, since the damage will be better without it. So it's another one that I'm thinking of using. I don't know. I believe that if it doesn't work, I could always just, I could always warp out and do it again. So it's worth the try. Oh, wait, we're going to go get Ritual Sword, though. I forgot about that. Ooh, wait, do we have a third talisman slot now? Or is that only because of Radahn? So remember, even having Source Seal on for Galika actually helped, too. It's kind of doing that wrong. There's a lot of stuff I wasn't really using the right talisman order for. How they've been going, Vamp? They've been going really good, but I failed on a couple that were just way too juicy. So I could have gotten this already. Like, without a doubt, it could have been done days ago. Not a big deal, though, because, I mean, like, again, this is going to be one of the quickest damageless runs I'll ever get. I think it actually will be if I get it today, because the quickest one I've ever done was in about 7 days, which was the very first one I ever did on DS3. But the DS3 damageless run is less different than hitless, even more so than this is. It's only 20% damage difference, but because you get fall control, you actually can sneak by enemies that you wouldn't be able to sneak by. So it's actually easier in terms of like the footstep sounds, which is really funny because you don't use stealth on DS3, so it actually gives you stealth, which makes up for the 20% difference. And your damage is already broken in DS3 anyways. It's pretty damn good, so it doesn't matter either way. Whereas on this, 10% difference when you have Ritual Sword Talisman, 20% difference for the beginning, and then you can't, like, I mean, you could stealth if you wanted to, but I don't go to the effort of doing that. And the areas, because of that, are very different since you would normally use stealth on hitless. And then some fights are just like, you can't really make as many mistakes. It's got to be pretty crispy. Such a scary run. It is a little scary. Like, the other one was not scary at all. Like, I could actually relax a little bit more. There was parts. There was, like, I mean, obviously it's always going to be a little stressful, like, no matter what. But yeah, this one has much more stuff where you're prone to be like, whoa. Even, again, like I said, when I'm running through somewhere, I'm just like trying to listen very intently to see if I can hear sound effects in the background, because I know things can see me from far away. Whereas there's no chance they'll see me normally. Like, I have to almost draw invisible lines on the screen with my eyes of the line of sight of their vision, because different enemies have different spectrums of vision, where some of them can see like almost kind of like in a cone, and then some of them are like pretty much like a line. It's like a tunnel. And I have to remember that some can just see on angles that you can't even, like, they don't even make sense. They're not consistent with the other enemies. Do I drink often, Eric? I don't drink at all, no. So for me, like, I stopped drinking when I became of age in my country. In terms of, like, how I used to, I guess that would be the best part. Like, the summarized full story would be that I used to drink maybe once every 2 weeks, sometimes once a week, and I would actually get, like, shit-faced, and then stopped drinking a little bit after that. And then when I became 19, I bought 2 beers, and then I was like, this is super depressing. I didn't even like it. And then I didn't buy alcohol again until I was like 27 or 28. I went on a trip with my friend, and then I told him if I went to the gym 5 times that week, I would get a shot of rum in my coffee. And then I just went to a restaurant, got a shot of rum in the coffee, and then any other sip of alcohol I've even had was just trying someone's mixed drink just to let them know what I think about it. And even then, last time I did that, wasn't even really a sip. It was just kind of like a drop. So I don't like drinking. It's not really that exciting to me. It doesn't taste good. It never did. I can handle a lot of alcohol. I used to drink like really, really strong stuff in a pretty high quantity, but definitely don't really like casually drinking, and I'm not into the artistry of it that much when it comes to making the alcohol. So there's no genre I fit into in terms of consumer. Nice, so that damage was similar. Stagger happened the same time. I might as well use Source Seal for the endurance. It's probably smarter for that, so that was good. Such a scary run. Almost a week already. Yeah, day 6. But again, the whole week goal thing is like actually kind of a meme. I originally made that as a joke. It wasn't even like in my head, I knew when I said that for the hitless run that we did before this, that it was just ridiculous to even say that, because I've never done anything that fast other than, again, the first ever damages run, because it was at any percent after coming off of doing 2 DLCs, all content, hitless, with a level 1 character. So like, I mean, damageless with a leveled character, any percent's way easier than that. Whereas this actually is like in the middle. Like all Remembrances hitless is harder than this, but this is still harder than any percent. So it's kind of like the second hardest run I've done in the game, which with way less playtime than when I achieved that whole quick damageless on DS3. It's definitely a huge difference in situation. So I would never expect it the same way. But I was like, hey, if I do it, that's amazing. Then I did. And then it's like, now I feel pressure to do it again because we did that one, but it's not really like logical though. The only logical part is that I already performed at a level where I could have got it. So that now I'm like, okay, based on results, yeah, I could. But when I started it though, I'm like, there's no, having this expectation, putting pressure on it, doesn't matter that much. It's more of just like a really cool thing if it happened, but if it didn't, then it would be like the normal expectation of just doing it in, you know, maybe a couple weeks or something like that. Rum and coffee, never thought of that. Is it good? Again, I don't really like that idea more than just drinking regular coffee. The way I look at it is alcohol doesn't taste better than regular beverages. So there's no way you can make a drink taste better because there's alcohol in it. It's just an acquired thing. Kind of like, I guess, I don't know. It would be like saying, like something that was like a plain piece of meat would taste better than something seasoned really well, like for a lot of different people's flavor palette, right? Obviously the alcohol being strong, so it's not like mild or anything, but it doesn't have a great flavor. Like none of them do. It's because they add stuff to it that it does, if it even has a little bit of a better flavor. So I didn't really care for it. Like it wasn't that good, the coffee with the rum in it, but like I'm able to drink things and eat things that taste really weird. Like I've had pure iodine before. Like I took multiple drops a day on my tongue. Like that's the worst taste I've ever tasted in my life. It's absolutely terrifying. It's still worse than having that whole box of the Bean Boozled things, or like the 75 beans at once or whatever that I did the one time. So powerful, so disgusting. So I'm able to tolerate and willing to do things that are really gross like that. Like no problem. So that's where there's a little bit of a difference. if you're not like that, then my discretion on things might not be accurate enough for you when I give you feedback. But again, I can definitely tell you accurately what tastes good for sure. Now, if you're like, hey, I really enjoy alcohol, I love like the actual idea of drinking it makes you want to believe it tastes good, then yeah, you might like the rum and the coffee for sure. But it was actually just black coffee with a shot in it. It didn't have anything else in it. So I think people typically put other things in it, or they put like Baileys or something. And yeah, I felt like a waste of money. I didn't feel anything, and it was mainly just doing like, I mean, again, it was my mistake. I shouldn't have done it really. I was hanging out with a friend that I'm not even friends with anymore that really was like pushy about certain things, and I'd usually not agree to most of the things anyways, and they kind of learned that over time, but I used to quite a lot. And one of the things they enjoyed to do on that trip was literally just go and buy ridiculous amounts of food from restaurants, not even eat all of it, and then just look at people and shit and just like literally just be like stagnant. And for me, I was like, I want to go and do activities, you know, I want to go to the gym there, like get my regular routine in. I'm okay with walking around, obviously that's fine in the sun and everything, but just like I didn't really want to just go sit at restaurants and like waste money. It was just, there's no point. Like all the restaurants where we were the same as the place at home, or even worse, other than like one place, and it wasn't even a sit down place. It was literally just like a pop-up shop kind of thing that was just new. So like for me, I was looking to have tasty food, and it's like there's a limit to that, right? Like not every place can be that good. So the drinking thing was kind of like just in line with the fact that they were just trying to indulge in everything. It's so weird. Yeah, we're not friends anymore. I mean, like, they're very, very different people. Kind of grew apart, but no hard feelings. Just like that's how they like to live. I like to do things that make sense to me, and none of that stuff makes sense to me. But the trip was cool. Like the actual, like getting out, like on like a beach and stuff, getting in the water, did some jet skiing. Like that's fun. I remember threw my first axe in the same location like years before, and was really into that. That was cool. Cool introduction. But yeah, I can't do the whole like let's just like be a consumer and just sit here and people watch. That's very boring. All right, so now Ritual Sword Talisman's not on still, but it doesn't matter. Can do this with Source Seal. I think we learned that already. I kind of want the endurance from it anyways. I'm looking for one more axe throw here. Will you give it to me? You might not. It's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, let's see if we can get it now. Oh, it's okay. Didn't want to do that. I pushed it by accident, but that's okay. It's actually really funny that that worked. Maybe he'll do the thing now. Maybe he'll throw it. There we go. Now he throws it, ironically. We already are good. Nice. Cool. So I think that I kind of slowed that fight down myself. I could have just not even tried to rebuff and just got in there, finished it. But even without Ritual Sword and missing a buff in the beginning, that was really good. Did I get hit on this run so far? No. So it'll say on the counter on the left side of the screen, you see the color orange in general, that means I made a mistake. There'll be a number on the number side, but just in general, if you ever see orange, that's a run that has a mistake in it, at the very least. Cursed run, Bakum? Why is it cursed? Player's supposed to be a Naruto cosplay? It's supposed to be a Super Saiyan guy. It's trying to make Goku. Drunk eating is worse than stoned eating. See, for me, when I used to have the times where I drink like a lot when I was like, I don't want to say when I was a kid, but practically a kid, like when I was underage, I had friends, or like, I guess we could say my group of friends were pretty tight with these people that owned a restaurant that was open super late, and they would let us even stay after they would close, or, you know, they'd hook us up sometimes, and they're always like super hospitable. So, which was kind of sketchy because like we were definitely too young to be going in there like that. We'd go in there all the time, just like kind of little silly, and we would only eat like the food there really when we got you know, like that, and it was healthy food actually. So like I actually didn't I didn't like lose many benefits of eating well-rounded food. You know, it'd be like chicken, rice, like salads and stuff like that, like pitas, falafels, stuff like that. Like a lot of Mediterranean food. Gonna do a nightmare run? No, definitely not. No plans for that. That'd be crazy though. After this, I'm gonna do the damageless concept, but I'm gonna do it all remembrances, which might actually be a world's first. We'll see. Either that or all great runes, one of the two. And then the DLC will probably be out when that's done, or it might actually lead into the DLC, and I might just upgrade it to the DLC run, but switch to a regular character for it. So we'll see how that goes. I have a feeling there's going to be a weapon in the DLC that's better. Oh wait, we don't need to do this, do we? We're just getting the talisman. I have a feeling there's going to be a weapon in the DLC that's so good that if you can go into the DLC early, people are going to grab it, then come back into the regular game and play the whole run with that. That's my guess, because usually there's something in the DLC that's stronger than the main game. So if there's something you can just pick up on the ground, and because the map's so open, it heavily depends on the requirements to get into it. That'll dictate like how early you'll be able to be super strong post DLC, right? Or once we're in the age of having the DLC in our possession. People running around with fucking like shotgun magic or something like that, just blowing people up in 2 seconds. What's a nightmare run? So Gino was doing a run that was called the Nightmare Run. Oh, we didn't go kill Galika yet still. We still haven't done Galika. Whoa. That's cool.
Let strength be granted so the
Very
world
unnecessary,
might
but
be
I was like,
mended.
wait a second. We killed Radon without...
So the world might be mended.
Which actually, yeah, that's
Smile.
interesting, because Radon would have been easier with Source Seal and Ritual. It's like, we're kind of going fast on this. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Something's missing. Oh, wait. 1 second. Oh, shit, the controller's falling. Damn it. Let's drop the controller. One of these days it's going to fall and the button's going to break. Oh, Bushy raided me, dude. Bushy, I didn't see that. Thank you for the raid, man, from a minute ago. Okay, I thought that was like a while ago, at least. Thank you so much for the raid, dude. How are you doing? Welcome, guys, from Bushy's stream. I do pretty similar things to Bushy. Like doing hitless damageless runs. I used to speedrun quite a bit. Be doing that again soon. And do mods and all that, so pretty familiar stuff. Definitely haven't played Elden Ring and done as many things as Bushy has, but I'm starting to pretend I actually know how to play this game a little bit. But welcome. If you guys don't know Bushy, if you're already here, he's a great content creator for Elden Ring specifically. I haven't seen him do other things. I'm sure he does, but a lot of the videos he does, from what I am aware of, are on this game, and they're incredible. So definitely got to check him out. And Toucan, thank you for the 27 months, dude. Okay. Let's see if we can still kill Galika in 3 hits. Twitch didn't pop up the notification. Yeah, it's kind of weird, actually. So the thing is, I can't actually see the banner alerts in chat because I'm streaming on 2 platforms. I'm streaming on YouTube, and I'm using the restream chat, which I don't have it set up to see those like badges in chat or the little banners. Oh no, it's the one thing there. There we go. We're good. It was looking a little spooky for a second, but we're good. And now we're gonna go do Morgot. Nightmare Run is NG +7, no levels, no weapon upgrades, no status effects or black flame. Oh, really? Okay, wait, so... But Gino's doing like a hitless version of that, right? Like he's doing the game without getting hit with all those conditions, I think. Or he already did, but then... He told me there's like a modified version of that where he has no status effects. So it's like Master Nightmare or some other like variation or whatever. Oh, is Bushy doing Nightmare Run too? Okay, so that's pretty cool. Maybe people have different definitions. Gino's doing one where I think he's not getting hit and he's doing something similar. But I have to actually double check and I have to get the facts straight. Okay. So on Morgot, basically this fight, I literally warp out if I don't like the beginning of it with how quickly he jumps. He needs to jump very quickly or it's going to be all my buffs running out, so the fight is not as worthwhile then, later on. And we might be here for a little bit if he's not giving me good RNG. We'll see. Might be here a while. Yeah, I mean, he gave me pretty good RNG. I think it takes, like, my rule is within 20 or like less than 20 seconds. If he doesn't jump from the very beginning, then it's kind of not worth it. But I could probably still find a workaround. It just gets really sketchy. I'm trying to avoid him doing any attack in phase 2 is the idea. But for example, let's say we missed one attack or like we had less damage at the end. I could have hit him one more time when he got up with a charge R2. That's like the maximum fight that I could stretch.
A husk, the only way and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide.
More got. He did be doing the thing in the place where it was like as far as wanted to go so or more do like. And if he ever went as far as more to do like want so, then even more as far as want to even do is much like for. Going as far as actually like to do so, even. I don't know if anyone knows the reference of what that's from. Every time I do that, people think I'm actually having like some sort of medical condition, but... There's a video called, have you even wanted to go far, more, or do like, or something like that? And this lady's just like, go even further and have even more farther beyond than even more do want so look like. Have you even far as do so look like have. And then it's just like an infomercial. So like me and this other streamer, we used to play this game where like whenever we would resub to each other's channels, we would type in the sub message some sentence that was a different variation of that type of speaking. And then like the person streaming would have to respond with a sentence that said that too and just go as long as they possibly could. And I got pretty decent at making it convincing. So I've done it to some people in person before and they've actually had like their brain break. They're like, what is happening here? Just questioning my sanity. Okay, I think I want to wait for this little guy on the stairs. He's probably going to turn around. Yeah. Usually when we get here, he's not actually walking in that spot that he was in. So I never have to stop here ever. Like I've only ran through right away. Also, I should probably mention, like, we're doing this run. So this run's been done before, but it was done with stealth items, like a thing where you could conceal footstep sound. And it was done with magic where you reduce fall damage to nothing unless you die. So this is like the first one ever with nothing to stop fall damage other than gameplay, and then no stealth in general. Just crouching and like killing things, kukri, stuff like that. So that is one important detail about this. So on this part, like, someone does chase me usually, and then I have to like run here and pull this immediately. Oh, he's got glowing eyes. What the hell? That's kind of scary. I don't remember that. Is the video in the room with us? Wait, what? Do you dream of Souls games considering how many boss patterns you have to learn? Vix, I actually have had very few dreams of video games in my entire life. Like, let alone this game. I don't think I've ever dreamed of this game particularly. I've had a dream where, like, there were people that looked like the colors of the phantoms. Like, you know, when you summon people, they're like yellow and stuff like that and white. Like Sunbros and the white phantoms. I've had dreams where people kind of look like that, but I've never had... And then I had a dream of... The funniest one was, it was a Dark Souls 3 related one, where I was in an office building and the cubicles were like gigantic. I was very tiny, and I was fighting Vort as the assassin class because I had fallen asleep watching Distortion do a speedrun. I guess that's what prompted it. So we were both miniature, and then like the office cubicle was gigantic, and someone from my community actually drew like Vort in an office chair at a computer watching my stream in the art or whatever. It was really funny. But that was the only like full-on Soul stream I've had. Why is the other guy not hearing this? Dude, how does he not know? He's lacking critical information, dude. This is impossible. Okay, here we go. It's like, how did he just mind lapse there? And then he goes for... Why? Why does he do that? See, this is the problem we always have. Like, he's kind of just chilling. The other guy never sees me, and then this guy follows me, which really sucks. So I have to... I don't know if I go over here and just maybe send him down. I don't know. He might de-aggro completely. I'm not even afraid of him. Like, I could go by him, throw the thing for the other guy, and then still run, but I want to have some time. So I'll probably make him walk away. Oh, he drops more runes if you kill him. Okay, see, like, this shows how much I played the game. I forgot that. You're gonna try an I Hate Myself New Game 7 randomizer. No damage, level 1, no weapon upgrade. All bosses, all mobs are Malekith. It should be all mobs are Malekith, but then there is also Millennia for every single time. Every time you die, Millennia pops up as well. And then there's extra Millennias for every death. But obviously only on boss fights. We don't want to be too ridiculous. It's not fair if it's everywhere. There's probably a way easier way to do this also. I'm going to have to figure out something else. Because the fact they're not walking to the wall is making me concerned. Like, why aren't you going over there? Oh, he's starting to. He's getting curious. Oh, shit, the big guy's going over. Oh, my God, we don't want the big guy. Big guy's... Oh, man, that's kind of weird. Why is the big guy over there? Second, let's keep going. Maybe it's something. Maybe I can get away with it. Big guy's still facing that way. Don't see me, big guy. Don't see me, big guy. Oh, my God, guys, this is weird. I don't like how weird this is. Ugh. Horse guy's kind of chilling. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I was having some problems with that part. I'm gonna jump off the bridge special where you shotgun a 4 Loko each time you look an enemy's way. What? Shotgun a 4 Loko each time, implying that a human can even drink more than one and live. Is that like before they changed the formula, or because they still sell those, right? We were talking about that recently. I'm pretty sure like way back they had a different formula for it. Every time you swing a weapon, waterfowl toggles. Oh man.
soul of the lost
a lot.
withdrawn from its vessel.
Okay, I gotta remember to switch this back. For whatever reason, I just feel like putting on the stamina crystal tier here. I used to do that, just in case I got in a situation where I needed more stamina. It's kind of like a little paranoid type thing going on, but it's gonna do that. Ingimar, thank you so much for the Prime sub, dude. I hope you enjoy your emotes. Welcome. Why is there no music for this part? Never thought about that. Oh, maybe there is, but it's like really quiet. Can like faintly hear something. It's like I'm pretty sure I can hear someone playing Caravan in E sharp with every single note being a drum solo. Yeah, definitely. Elden Ring, but if you jump, you die. Yo, that's actually pretty funny. I would probably die a lot on that. I would die on that even if it wasn't Elden Ring, because I go and play this, and I'll go to the other games, and I'll try to jump as if it works. Like, I'll press the A button. It should be like Bloodborne, after just playing Dark Souls 3 for like a year straight, and every time you try to two-hand your weapon but heal instead, and it like reads your brain, you have to reset the game. We'd probably never beat it. Max, thank you for the good luck, dude. Welcome back. It's been pretty damn good. This is the first run. We're doing well. The time frame of it got a little slower, I'll be honest, but it's not too bad. I think we can speed up again. Why is it foggy there? So right before we got there, the gargoyle was hitting fat blinkers off of a vape pen, and he got so just comatose that he fell asleep. And that's why we're able to make it across the entire area. Because like he actually just wakes up when we get to the edge of the stairs. They have really good hearing, but he literally like just passed out from the vape clouds, and they travel pretty far too. So it like engulfs the entire area. Some even say fog gates themselves were formed from that gargoyle. Like I think he had two. He was like dual wielding jewel pens plus 10, and he just like ripped them at the same time and like literally drained the battery. He did like back to back blinkers, and then just straight up just passed out, dude. So yeah, that's the story there. Lore accurate, yeah. Like it was so powerful that the fog went back in time. It time traveled and created fog gates in the older games. So like the whole conflict of Demon Souls is literally that gargoyle created demons from the smoke, essentially, or the concentration of the compounds. Once they hit the atmosphere, they made demons. Did they ever explain the fog gates? So the idea is that whatever like evils kind of plague the land, like it brings fog with it, and it just represents there's something in the vicinity that's like, you know, whatever the conflict is. So in Demon Souls, like they come from the fog, essentially. They bring the fog. In Dark Souls, same thing. In this, I don't know if they explicitly mention it in the intro or anything. I can't remember, but it's most likely the same thing. But the ones in this are golden, right? So that probably has to do with the whole Golden Order thing. Like the curse that Marika kind of created, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Rasta Golem? Oh, wait, I need short sword. Ooh. Scary. Uh-oh, I don't like that. I attack twice. I don't know if that's good. Okay, I think we're okay. That enemy can do a fireball sometimes, and I'm pretty sure the only thing preventing me from having gotten that, and I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it's because I'm attacking there, but then I didn't have the sword out right away. That was kind of scary. Not good. Guy's aim is terrible. you know, of a certain vape lord named Walnir who could definitely outsmoke that gargoyle. So that's actually why Walnir's dead before the gargoyle was even born, because he depleted the entire supply of cartridges. So like it had to come around to like maybe 1,000, 2,000 years later minimum before they could even start producing them again, because Walnir was the original vape god, and it was so potent that like his actual carcass still emits the fumes even though he has no lungs anymore. And like that's why his room is so foggy too, but like none of the actual catacombs have any smoke in it. These are all like real pieces of information here. Like me and Vadi, we went on an expedition in ancient Egypt in the real world. We went to like the pyramids to figure this out. So it's hard hitting, dude. Hit up a couple scholars and just we deciphered some hieroglyphics to get to that level of information. I collected every Yu-Gi-Oh card and then like did like some reverse engineering on the hidden languages behind them. Watched every episode in Japanese backwards. There's so many different signs. Which boss would make the best chef? I feel like Fire Giant might. Like his stomach could be like a pizza oven. You could put like some sort of like a grill in there even. I don't know. He could be like a barbecue. But I don't know if he'd make the food that well. It's kind of like, it reminds me of the video. There's a guy that had a cow and it was eating on a table very sloppily, like extremely sloppily, to the point where it was weird. Okay, Borealis is getting sketchy. I think we escaped him. Usually I run through this way, doing it like this, because the other way that I was used to taking, usually the invisible bridge part, like you would get shot by an arrow, so I haven't figured out how to do that better. Fire Giant doesn't start to roll around. It's okay when he rolls. The rolling thing's only dangerous if you're right in front of him and you were far away previously and you kind of like waited for a long time, then went into him, then he rolls. So I'm kind of able to predict when he's going to. Yeah, Godric might be able to make some good food, because he's got the flames built into his hand on the dragon part, and then he's got the axe to cut up the meat. He's very creative too, so his like flavor profiles might be on point. He kind of looks like he could have been a chef before too. Boggart does make the prawns, so like that's a... I think like Boggart would be a good sous chef, or like a line cook maybe. But someone would have to run the kitchen, so who's the head chef though, right? I'm trying to think of who that would be. Then who would be the servers? Like if they had a restaurant? Moog invited us to the cookouts. Moog probably has to be a pretty good chef, because he's got like his own like little dynasty thing going on. He's got like his own people. He's got to feed all those people,
Let
right?
strength be granted so the
They can't be
world
drinking
might
blood
be
all the
mended.
time.
So the world might be mended.
Dungeator is the head chef, not us.
Dung Eater's the head chef? Why? How would he become the head chef? I'm curious about that. Oh my god, the hand right there. I forgot about the hand. Little spooky. I don't think that little hand's a big problem, but yeah, that's something to pay attention to. Just in case. Oh, yeah, getting stuck there is something to pay attention to. Also, yo, Gecko, did I say thank you already for the resub? Oh no, I did. Yeah, I read that. Sorry, my bad. It popped up like again for some reason. Don't laugh at me for asking twice. I'm just focused. I swear. Haters will say I forgot, but the real ones will be like, he's paying attention. There's a difference. You have no idea what's happening. We were just talking about like who would be the best chef in the game as a boss, but then I sort of think of it as like a restaurant where there'd have to be other people too. Moon Presence could cook with gas. Moon Presence would be pretty insane because all the tentacles could grab different things if it was like independent in its moon spaghetti hair and all that. And then like the way it would move around the restaurant would be pretty cool. It could like deliver things from the supply trucks into like the kitchen by like crawling on the walls like Spider-Man and shit. It could probably even use its like psychic abilities and all that. Psychic abilities. Like telekinesis to make the people give good ratings on Google. All that stuff. Like, this food tastes, and then like Moon Presence does like the drain attack. It's like, it's so good. And then what he would do is when he ran out of food supply, he would turn the people into eggplants, and then he would serve them to other people. And then he would like very carefully farm the most nutrient dense eggplant because people would be eating other people that turned into eggplants, and then they would be turned into eggplants too. And then he would be like on a talk show for creating like the craziest nutrient dense superfood as like one of the most respected farmers of all time, but he actually just made people eat people that were eggplants. It'd be like a pyramid scheme of some sort. Come to my restaurant, get turned into food. Other people eat you. They eat them. Forever. 1,000 million% vitamin D. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna get a bit more serious on this. Let's actually do this properly. Apostle's a bartender? I could see that. Oh wait, we have the, oh shit. Just realized I've screwed that up. I have the green spill tier. Was supposed to change that back to the spike crack crystal tier. Need to activate super chats on YouTube, Mickey. I appreciate you guys want to do that. So I don't have the join button yet, and I don't have super chats, but I will in the future. It's kind of just early on in me streaming on YouTube, so what I was trying to do is build up an audience on it that's somewhat comparable to Twitch, maybe, and then I was like, yeah, I guess at that point, if a lot of people are using it, I'll make that available. But I mean, just being here, if you guys leave the YouTube stream on, even if you're not watching specifically, but if you go out and you leave it on, it makes such an impact on the channel already just from ad revenue, so I really do appreciate people being here in the first place. But yeah, I didn't want to try to sell anybody anything in terms of like, oh, like buy into the community or feel pressure to do that. I already don't tell people to sub on Twitch. It doesn't really matter. Like, one of the main things I like to do is make videos. If you guys want to support doing like doing subscriptions and all that, you can, but it's not required. It helps a lot, but it's definitely not like my main thing, so. It's very much appreciated still. Bonked in the head. Wow, what a fate. bit embarrassing to have someone a 100th of your size obliterate you like this. So like that might be something that seems that way, but okay, think of it this way. Like, let's say you were a human and then like you got scaled up 100 times, so you were 100 times stronger than you were. Do you think you would kill a little person that's like the chosen one? Because like it would be hard to keep track of the guy. Like that's the only thing. Like I think you'd have an advantage by default, but you'd be so big that you couldn't pay attention to what he's doing all the time. You have to like step on him really quickly. So, and also with the way the laws of gravity work and everything, and like the atmosphere, just like the fact you're on the same like environment, there might be like weird factors where you can't like just move just as quick as you can at that size. There might be other like weird things that happen. Maybe like your joints are sore, man. You have like osteoporosis. I don't know, fucking like different bone problems, and like, you know, your heart doesn't keep up as much. I have no clue. Could be some medical related stuff. I think we need to raise awareness for extremely gigantic people the size of buildings.
Commit. Very well, let my hand.
Just break dance, just roll around. That's it. You'd have to do that move that Guardian Ape does in Sekiro, where he just like spams his arms and wails back and forth. Didn't realize how clenched you were till I killed him. That was actually a really solid fight. The only problem was I couldn't set off both of those fire orbs. But I played it very carefully though, even though I didn't do it properly. You should be able to let them kind of like coast down above your head. And then right when you're standing there and you're about to take off, they both burst and you leave, and then he recovers from the animation. So even if he were to attack you, you'd be safe. I used to just leave them and let them chill and then try to blow them up, but the scary thing about that fight was that I was so like quick to get him to go into that, or I guess the way it overlapped, there was still explosions happening right in front of him, if you guys noticed. And that hasn't been the case. Like there hasn't been timing like that for a long time that I've noticed, where like the actual meteors are blowing up in front of him still. So I noticed that at the last second. That was nice, but could have been bad. I rushed over there. Sarcopenia? Yeah, there you go. Bullet ant versus any human. Dude, imagine a bullet ant full size though, like the 6 foot tall bullet ant. I bet you even if it had like, again, 6 times less power, whatever amount of times less power, it would still be pretty crazy. Because the pain that like even one could make you feel is debilitating, according to people that have been bit by them. Milk is the fastest liquid on Earth. It's pasteurized before you can even see it. So wait, why does that make it fast? I'm confused. Is that a joke? What makes it quick then? Oh, it's pasteurized. Oh my god, that's terrible. That's maybe one of the best jokes that are cringy that I've heard. Oh man, that's really funny. It's past your eyes. Oh, I don't like that spot. I don't like the spot. I don't like anything about that at all. We're just gonna run, chillin'. Chillin', 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 chillin'. I'm chillin'. Everybody's cool, right? We're so cold because we're chilling. John Cena, Bing chillin' in China. Fast and Furious red carpet event. Let's go. Probably makes no sense if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Watch the clip. Oh my god. Okay. First part of the crisis averted. Nice. If a bullet ant was scaled to 6 feet, it'd be strong enough to chop you in two with just its jaws. The venom be damned. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, even if the venom's several times weaker, even that itself might be pretty painful still. Because there'd be a larger like amount of it, right? It would be like a volumetric larger amount of liquid in its body. So even if like per cubic millimeter or whatever the hell, or per drop it's less powerful, there'd be more to put into you. So it depends on how saturated you could become with venom, I guess. Getting scientific. I'm gonna go back to sleep pots. And then we're gonna rest here again one more time. Okay. And that's duo. Nice. Very clean duo. Nothing wrong with that. That's perfect. Let's go back and get... we have to... Oh, yeah, we got to grab the plus 25 stone, too, actually. Before I even do this. I think it's... Forge... No, Foot of the Forge? Yeah. This fight has so many inputs for duo specifically. It's like a lot of combos you have to do, but again, they're not super complicated. It's mainly just time sensitive, and you have to have good angles for things. Obviously, you have to hit them. You can't miss them. It's a little strict on, you know, executing it well for sure. Like you don't have a lot of room to fail. Hardest thing probably is the sleeping pots, like making sure they fall asleep. Even though it looks pretty simple, like getting Noble to walk into the cloud. Or like having him walk through one, not successfully sleep, but then the next one immediately makes him sleep within like a second or something like that. That's very, very important. And then having extras left over just in case. Can't jump. Go. Hyperversity, thank you for gifting a 3-month tier 1 sub to Skeletox. That's crazy. 3 months of subs gifted. You Hyper, you're crazy, man. Why are you doing that? Is Malekith going to be trouble? I mean, nothing in the run's actually like a real trouble. It's mainly just how well I play. So it would be a better thing to be answered once you see how the fight goes. But if I had to guess, you know, how it normally goes, worst scenario on him is you have to rebuff before phase 2 just to get his health to halfway and then rebuff again. So like 3 instances of buffing in the fight is the worst. And I don't even do that anymore. I usually play so fast that you don't have to. You get really slow and fall behind. Or sending him into phase 2 without having a buff going, that's pretty bad. Hyper, thank you for gifting Jingle Peggy a sub as well. Jingle Peggy, that's a funny name. Just gonna make more of these anyways, and then don't think it matters, but yeah, we have them. It's fine. Have I been bulking? You look bigger compared to a year ago. I have been going through a bulk. I'm on a cut right now, but yeah, definitely been training really hard. Still progressing in a bunch of lifts and stuff, so I appreciate that. I don't know if he turned around because of that. That's, you know, I'm gonna actually, I'm so paranoid right now, I'm gonna do this again. Because if he turned around from hearing me punch and then I jump on there, that's no good. But yeah, no, I'm always trying to gain more muscle. I mean, I still have a long way to go, but I think the ideal situation for me is like 200 pounds even at like 13 to 15% body fat is awesome. If I can be like more muscular than that, that's actually pretty impressive. But like I'm trying to aim to be somewhere around that range at 15% right now. It's very, very tricky to say if it's gonna work because you always have more fat to lose than you think you do. And I've never actually maintained all year round being that lean. Like I've always been closer to 20 something percent. I think when I was like a little bit leaner before, it was closer to 18 maybe, 19, and I'm getting closer to that again, which is nice. But I've never been like lean really, like lean, except for like maybe when I barely ate any food and didn't really train too much. Pics after, before, and after. Oh yeah, I could share some pictures. Like I'm gonna actually be using that as part of my website. So I do fitness coaching and nutrition. So I'm gonna basically be introducing you guys to my website once in a while once it's done later in the year, and then there'll be a lot of photography of like anyone that's been a client that wants to show their before and afters all the way up to that point of the year from when they started working with me, and then my own experience will be there just so you can see. But yeah, I don't have any like social media that shares pictures of myself right now. I used to do that on Instagram a little bit, and then I stopped doing that. I stopped doing like photos of me, but more so just the music channel that I made. I'm promoting that on Instagram now. Lost a lot of weight when you got mono, really? I guess when I had it, I had to drink smoothies quite often because I think my tonsils swell up and stuff like that. So yeah, I drank like a lot of smoothies and like drank a lot of liquid during that week. But after that though, like it's kind of like being sick essentially, like with the flu or the like bad cold. All right. Bow time on the birds. And also buffing for the birds too. Most definitely. Especially for these first ones. Wait, why can't I do that? Oh, there we go. Stop being so weird. Actually stop being so weird. I don't know why that bird was being strange. Okay. Definitely going to rebuff again just because, yeah, we don't want that kind of stuff happening. I might even here, I'm going to put the bow on the other hand so the Craig Blade can still exist on this weapon because I don't trust these birds at all, dude. I really don't. Again, this is probably not necessary as much as I think it is, but I'm going there. I'm doing it like this. He's gonna, oh, yeah, he canceled his attack there. Nice. So I was actually able to snipe these birds really well last time. And because I don't trust them as much, I'm just gonna make sure I buff even extra for here and use the Physic Flask. I think it affects the bow, I'm pretty sure it does. I'll even, well, I guess I'll Craig Blade just in case they actually get far enough to do anything, but let's chug one of these again too. Yeah, finishing them off like that should be pretty simple. What do he be doing? Why is he going back? What? Weird. That was really funny. Okay. I don't know why he did that. That's strange. Nice. Burb's not bourbon. No, he was actually turning into a different creature there. What happened to the dragon? If you shoot it, it disappears. The only way to reach it from there, though, you need the weapon art on the bow or the Ash of War shot, the power shot thing. The one that increases the distance, whatever it's called. Okay, how close is this guy? This part's like the last area we have to run through in general for this run, which is nice. But it's very slow the way I play it because I don't have the stealth. So the best way I figured is literally just being careful and making these guys not see me by running away really far and then killing them when they turn their back. Thoughts on Kendrick Drake beef? The only thing about the Kendrick Drake thing that I have an opinion on is, like, Kendrick's one of my favorite rappers of all time. He probably is my favorite rapper, so it's very... I don't know. I guess apparently it started because Drake said something about his wife. That's what I was told yesterday. I didn't know that, but it kind of changes my opinion a little bit on him because I feel like no matter what anyone says about you, like, why succumb to that? Why react to it? He seemed a bit more developed to not have to react to that. That's my take on it. So I don't know why he played into it. Originally, what I assumed is they were making, like, they were actually friends and they're just making money off of it, kind of thing. Like, it's like a business. It's like just a fun business thing. You know, there's collaborating, but like making it look like they're going against each other. So yeah, it definitely is not like the height of human emotional control or expression, in my opinion. Why is he turning around already? I don't like that. Oh, he's still, fuck, he's coming back again, guys. He faked me out, dude. This guy faked me out, man. This guy legit faked me out, man. There's no way. Will he stop at this part, maybe? If he doesn't, I'm gonna cry, man. You got it. You got to run back after that far. You're out of your jurisdiction. You're not legally able to do anything over here. This is the state line. Like, I'm in a different area code, dude. Calm down. Do you have a lifestyle channel? I am going to be making a 4th channel that is based on not vlogs, but talking about subjects that I find important, that I read about and that I practice, and certain things that I'm interested in. And then my plan is actually from there to use that information to write a book. So it's kind of like a super easy shortcut for that because I want to do that anyways. So I have all the things I need to write a book written down already. I have notes for several different topics for all the chapters. And I already have premeditated how I'm going to talk about it. So I'm just going to spitball on those subjects and then boil those down and refine them to like a 100 to 200 page book of all those subjects as chapters and then make it like an ebook one day. But yeah, I would love to do a lifestyle channel for sure. I don't know exactly when this year it's going to happen or if it's going to be next year, but as soon as possible. I just want to make sure it's a worthwhile endeavor, because I am doing the other channels, and like it's very smart to focus on, you know, a very tight amount of things at a time if you're passionate about it and it's going well. I don't think there's a point of overdoing it. Oh no. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, wait, we're in there. We're in there. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. It's all good. I was scared for a second. I was unsure. I think I could have used the other buff there. That would have been better. Then this guy's reaching the max distance for his throwing here. So this might be a little bit slow to kill this guy. What Ash of War for the balls? I'm using Craigblade on the balls. Why don't you rush the last one? I tried to and it got really, really bad. So I don't know if I did it wrong, but the one laying down was not easy for me to kill. Again, there could be a lot of ways to do this better. This is just my version of this. A lot of this run, I've just used methods I thought were good. I did not copy methods that were already done. And also, again, because there isn't a lot of runs done like this without stealth, there isn't a lot of examples out there, right? Like most runs use stealth. Sounds like a fun project. Yeah, I thought it'd be cool because it's like, if I'm already going to talk about these things, which I've already talked at length about them before. I've had so many discussions about these things with so many people. Some of them on stream, some of them not. So it's like, why not just have that recorded so it's there for people that care, even if it doesn't like grow into a big channel, and then just use that to and listen back and get it like I could convert it into like a text file and then boil that text file down. It could be pretty quick to do that instead of sitting there and then critically thinking of how am I going to write a refined book by default. Because what I tend to do is like, if I don't just generate a large body of text immediately, I'm not one of the people that can quickly, you know, write a final draft of something, which I'm sure most people are like that. So I find it better to just already have premeditated a lot of the things way back in the past. So it comes out as a final draft when I write it, or I can refine it really quickly. So even when I make the videos for YouTube, like with the scripts, I've already thought of the script before you've even, like well before the video came out and well before I even sat down to write it. So I'm just like, it's just word vomit at that point. That's actually constructive. It doesn't take much time. I've already thought of everything for it. I don't like writing and then having the writer's block. I need to have a strategy that's pretty fluid. So big guy might be chasing me. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine. It's cool. Yeah, we're good. Also, love, no worries, no worries. Yeah, I use determination for Gideon. That's the only thing that's different. I'll use it for Gideon and I'll use it for killing a scarab earlier in the game. And then typically on hitless, you'd use it to kill Bernal, which is in the War Master Shack. Okay, we do have plus 25, we're good. Let him walk for a second, and then we're running. The GTA Online first-person cheese, is that actually a thing that people do in multiplayer? I always thought it was so cool. Like, my friend played GTA when we were younger, and I never have been into it, but like, I thought it was amazing, the first-person thing. I was always like, why don't people play like that more often? I didn't really see a lot of my friends playing like that.
Thou who approacheth.
Maybe they conditioned everyone to not want to as much because the classic view is third person. I don't know.
Stolen from me again.
Wait, why am I... That was really janky. I take my time here to buff. Being a little funny here. It's all good though. All Gucci. Cool. Very cool. Ultra cool. Super big awesome. Even more super big awesome. Looks cool, but also not that cool. Yeah, kind of weird RNG in the beginning, from what I'm used to here. I like that swipe, and then I like the other attack with the circle quite a lot. But like he's doing it in weird timings. Usually I can kind of like guess when he's gonna do it. Like he'll do that, then he'll go into it. Yeah, there we go. Red good. Then one more and then we buff. It's good too. No run forward, I'm just gonna chill. Cool, get the pillar. And we're rebuffing. Just trying to poke the corner over here. Throwing a bunch of shit, making a crazy mess. Malekith, what are you doing? Stop doing that. Okay, let him do that. Wow. Fancy. Jab, okay. Good. Cool. And that's Malekith. Again, with a pretty shitty phase 1. Because we were talking about like how's Malekith go? That was a slower version, and it was, I mean, I could have probably done it quicker, I just wasn't trusting it. Balls of steel, literally, yeah. Gigantic balls on hands. Are they on the hands or are they in the hands? Because technically, he, like, I would imagine if you made that weapon in real life, there'd have to be like a little like handle you're holding. And if the handle's part of the ball, is he holding balls technically? I think he is. For them to stay on the hand, you'd have to hold them. So I would almost guarantee you those are not like molded around his hand. Yeah, phase 2 is really good. It's always nice. I love how the golden rooftops are like the same color as my hair almost. Amazing. Rave, what's up? How's it going, dude? It's not the real me, no. It's the one that made you think it was real the whole time, but in reality, you were actually me pretending to be someone else to entertain myself in a Matrix AI reality that has me constantly convinced that games are on 2-dimensional screens in the 3rd dimension, perceived by the depth of pixels at different colors and rates of occurrence in frame rate. So therefore, I was wrong, and they're not even real because I'm not real. And you're not real. But we're gonna pretend. It's a no-hit. This runs 0 damage, so no damage from anything. I have done a hitless version of this run too. This is like the upgrade from that. This is like the perfect run, other than the scripted death in the beginning that you have to take.
I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, I know in my bones a tarnished cannot become a lord. Not even you. A man.
Does hugging Fia count as damage? I think it would. What's the world record for this? Well, with challenge runs, there's not really a world record, right? Because challenge runs are based on completing the task. I will say, though, this run is different than the only ever one that's been done with the title of 0 damage level 1. in the sense that the person that did this run previously, the only one that exists that we could find, he uses stealth, and he uses magic that allows you to not take fall damage. So this one has no fall damage negation. It's purely just gameplay, which the fall damage negation, just to say, it's not like that difficult, but yeah, there is something to essentially control the fall if it's non-lethal, where it doesn't take damage, and you can just kind of like run around and do normal stuff anyways, and then the stealth helps for a lot of areas. So this run's a little harder than that one, but there is somebody that did it already, so I wouldn't say that you could really say it's a record. It would just be whoever does it first. People usually will claim that. Yeah, best build for beginners, I would say Bloodhound Fang as a weapon. Samurai class to start off is really good. And then go Bloodhound Fang or Serpent Hunter. Even these the balls are pretty good. But a somber weapon's a lot easier to upgrade. Okay, we're playing the longer game on this part. A little spoopy.
Thy strength befits a crown.
Definitely a longer fight there. So that's the worst fight I've ever had on a run with him, because we staggered phase 2, which triggered the cutscene, but then he spawned off screen, so I didn't want to go for the early attack. because that would have sped it up a lot. So that's actually wild. That's like, I will actually take credit for that one being wild. The second to last jump was scary. Yeah, the proximity on that was weird. But thank God I've actually had that happen before, because if I didn't, then I'd be like, what do I do? Like, all right. That's it, dude. Yes. Oh boy, less than a week, 6 days. Level 1, 0 damage, man. That's crazy. Oh, still pretty quick too. 2 hours, 37 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, man, that's sick. That's so cool. I also did the really good Radagon where you like line up with him twice on the roll and then finished him a little bit early. That was a really good Radagon Elden Beast. That was perfect. I usually am a little sketchy on Radagon, so that's, yeah, that's nice. That was actually even cooler though because we had a lot of fights that were scary. So there's level 1. No damage taken for the entire game from anything. Boom. You were here to see it. Oh, thank you for everybody that was watching too. If you want to type hello mom, you'll be on the screen there. I was here. Whoa. Dude, I'm actually, man, my hands are sweating so much. If you did like this run, make sure you let me know what your favorite moment of it was in the comments below. Also, for music content, check out my music channel, Squilla Tunes, and also check out Squilla Plays, my second gaming channel for unedited gaming content that doesn't make it to the main channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.